Okay, so if you've got the pulley set up, unfortunately this is probably the most difficult one to set up, and I'm going to show you how to go through the arrangement of this. Oftentimes these things fall apart, and so we just have to be able to build them from scratch. So you're going to start with something that has a pulley hanging from that bar. It should be taped up top, and then there's a long string that's connected to that, and on the other side of that string is a loop on there so that you can use that to hang some weights from it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do the initial build. So first thing you have to do is you have to take this pulley like so and make sure that you orient it like this, and then you're just going to take this string and sort of do this first part. You're going to go through here and you're going to try to suspend that pulley from this. So it can be a little bit challenging to do. I'm going to do this by myself. You might end up having another person sort of help you with this. So the first thing I'm going to do is have that weight of that pulley sort of keeping some tension on that line. Now the next thing I have to do is I have to take this, I'm going to take this portion right here and sort of feed it through the top, make a little loop through it, and then pull on the right side so that I can get the rest of that string through. And now the rest of this is what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep going down through this. I'm going to lift this up a little bit. I'm going to create a little loop through here so that I can feed this portion through the next pulley down at the very bottom. Or this would be the middle pulley, if you will. I pull that long end through. Try to keep that as you're building it. Try to keep the pulley, the weight of the pulley there to sort of keep tension on these ropes. Otherwise it does all sort of fall apart. And then we get sort of frustrated from that. You can see I'm having a little bit of difficulty right there with that one. So again, I'm going to try to keep that weight there with the tension, and then I'm going to pull this thing up like so. I got to feed this now through the middle pulley up top. Again, you might find it easiest to have another person help you with this as you're feeding it through. This does take a little bit of practice to be able to do. So you might just work as a team to get that. And again, each one of those pulleys, the cord is in between each of those pulleys. I'm going to lift this thing up a little bit, feed it through the bottom one. I'm almost done. So again, I make sure I pull through the tag end like so. And then I'm going to go through the last portion up here. And this is where things can get a little bit tricky. Like so. I'm going to feed this one through. And I'm almost done. So this again can be a little bit of a bear. You might have someone else sort of hold tension on this piece down here. Now what I have is I have an operating pulley. I'm going to put, in this case, I'm going to put a 1,000-gram object here that I'm going to lift up. And so now that I have some tension on there, I can see what that feels like. The challenge here is that I don't want to let go of this rope because the whole thing will unravel. So I'm going to put, in this case, I have a 100-gram object that I'm going to put on there. That should not be enough to be able to lift that. Hopefully, if I did this correctly, you have enough string so that, or just the right length of string that when you build it, the mast can land or can rest on the bottom plate there, and you have enough string to sort of hang another weight from that. The goal here is you have to figure out how much weight to add to this to be able to get to lift that. So that's 100 grams. Each of these things has a marking on it. This is 150. Here's another 50, so I put that in there. Now I'm up to 200 total grams of weight. That's not enough to lift it, but it's getting close. So what I do is just keep going and adding weight until I get it to lift. And at that point, I've sort of operated the machine. And again, when you go to calculate AMAs and IMAs and so forth, it's a ratio of various things. This is the basic setup for you. When you're done, what I'm going to ask you to do is disassemble this by taking all of these things back off. Please be careful. If you let this thing go at this point, it's going to all fall apart with a lot of mess. So just be very careful with that. Once you get that through down here, you can take that off, and then you can just sort of pull that string out through like so, and then it'll be ready for the next group. So there you go. That's all that's required.